Good morning students, here I am to begin this class of the grammar. In this exercise 4 lesson we have one of the exercise. We have this active and the passive voice. Just I would like to explain to you what is the active voice and the passive voice. Okay, and you want to know the sentences properly so that you can do the exercise well. The definition for the active voice is an active voice is a type of a clause or a sentence in which a subject performs an action. Okay, the action. What is that action? Action is the verb. No, action word is the verb that always shows the who is doing the action. That is exactly the active voice. Clearly, it shows who is acting, who is doing that action. That is called the active voice. Especially it says it expressed through its representative verb, the particular verb. Okay. For example, Rama is going to school. Who is going to school? Now, Rama is going to school. No, that is what. Who is going? Who has done the action? Who is pushing some action? That is the Rama, and that is where we can see. For example, we have some here examples. Okay, Kevin hit the ball. Answer is this is the active voice. Here, this is the active voice, and the passive is changes into the ball hit by Kevin. That is called passive. Now here, the ball hit by Kevin, and this word by Kevin, it identified for us as a passive. The other way around here, you check here, this sentence is very clear. The subject here in this sentence is, what is that? Subject is the Kevin is the subject. Kevin is the subject and the hit is the verb. Clear? Hit is the verb. Who is hitting the ball? Okay. The action of Kevin is falls on the object. Here there is the object. That is you have to remember very clearly. Okay. Now action is put on the object by whom? By the subject. Now here the Kevin is the subject. So here the passive we can changes. Okay, the object comes first, then the subject comes last. Understood? And this is the entirely change of a sentence here. You see, Kevin has come here, and the ball has come here. The ball. Understood? The right around of the sentence comes became or the other way around. If you have to say, clause becomes the first, and the subject becomes the later in this. Are you clear? But in this active and passive voice, we have three kind of sentences here. One is the present simple active and passive. Second, present continuous active and passive. This is active. This is passive. And the past active and passive. Now let us see. For the beginning, let's see the present simple. Present simple. He receives a letter. Okay. He receives a letter. Here, very clear that the simple that nothing was changed. He receives a letter. Now you check. A letter is received by him. He became him. That you must know the table. Understood? How the first person and become the second person. A letter was received by him. Clear? Here, in the second idea, the present continuous. Here, he is receiving the letter. How do you know? This is the continuous. Which word makes you to understand? That is the continuous. That is I-N-G. This word is continuous. receiving, running, sleeping, eating, jumping, kicking, shouting, seeing, laughing. All that ing is called as the continuous. So it is very clear when it is that comes, just have to see it is in the present continuous or a past continuous. That is the way things we have to understand. When I come to the past, I will tell you how to understand that. Okay, present continuous. He receiving a letter, it is the active voice. The passive becomes a letter is being received by him. In the present, what is the new word we have? Being, that also continuous here. Okay, received by him. Even here it is received. That it looks like a past tense, but it is not a past tense. It is the present continuous. If the work is going on, it is in the process. Because of that, it is called received. But in the past, he received a letter. Here, active is become he received a letter. The passive becomes a letter was received by him. What happened? Was. Is became this a letter received. He received a letter. Here was it becomes the past. Clear? And here two words and received. Am I clear to you on this level? And you see here, this is how it is very clear. A letter was received by him. And you check in all the three kinds of a sentence, it is particularly identified, which is a passive. Is the one word. It is very clear to understand, that is by, and by. And you check. Understood? The right subject becomes the object, object becomes the subject. Right round in this sentence, active and the passive. Am I clear to you? This sentence, active and passive voice. If you keep this table with you all the time and by heart, and you are very easy to make a active into passive. You will not forget anything in this making it. Now in the lesson, okay, in this Louis Pasteur, conqueror of the disease, there is a change the following into passive voice. They have given us the active voice and passive voice. Before understanding the sentence, you cannot change. Either they are given the active voice or a passive voice. You must know, if there is a by inside the sentence, it means it is a passive. That is you have to understand. Now I have done an exercise to you. There are 8 sentences they given us on, okay, 8 sentences they are given, and I have solved your problem so that I made it a little easy for you to learn. Okay, keep a concentration so that I clearly explain to you how this changes and how that you understand the changes. The first sentence, the manufacturer consulted Pasteur about his beer which was turning out badly. In this sentence, first things I noticed, okay, which kind of a sentence here? Is it a simple, present or a past? Okay. Now here in this sentence is the word consulted, okay, identifies us, and not only that consulted, but here one more word makes us to understand this sentence is past okay, by two words here, consulted and was. Okay, this word made us to understand very clear is the past sentence. If it is a past sentence, we have to keep the sentence in the past. If it is a simple sentence, we have to keep the sentence in present. If there is a sentence is a present continuous, then you have to keep in the continuous tense. We are not able to change. We don't have any authority to change the sentences into a present, past, and the future. No. If it is a present, you have to make it as a present. Only by turning clause into a subject and the subject into a clause. That is the mean right round you have to change it so that we are very clearly can change. Now let us explain to you past passive. Pasteur, see here Pasteur is the subject, is the person, it was in the clause. Pasteur about his beer which was turning into a battery. Okay, now this here, Pasteur was consulted by, that is the passive, by one manufacturer. Here is the subject, one manufacturer. Okay, about his beer which was turning out badly. We check how this sentence begins right from. Understood? Pasteur was consulted by one manufacturer about his beer which was turning out badly. Am I clear to you? Okay, let's go to the second sentence. Then it becomes a little clearer and clearer. Many believe that germs had spontaneous generation. In this sentence also, I have underlined to you to understand better. Believed. Believe is a simple. Believed. And here, has is a simple. Understood? Simple present. Has. Have and a had. Had is the past. Having is the continuous. So that we have, here in the sentence we have believed and had. It is very clear for us also this sentence is a past sentence. So, it was believed by many that germs had spontaneous generation. Here, it was believed that, so past sentence, no? It was believed that by many that germs had spontaneous generation. The third one, a simple and clever experiment proved that Pasteur was right about germs. Here, also there are two words make us to understand this is the past one, proved and was, so that it gives us a clear idea. Now, say that Pasteur, you see here, I am giving the sentence from here. That Pasteur was right about germs was proved by a simple and clever experiment. Here is the experiment is the action here. Understand? You have to understand the verb. Verb have to be connected to the by. So the by some clever experiment. Clear? Got it? Fourth one. A germ which had turned their wine sour troubled some French winemakers. Here also we have three past tense identifications, that is had, turned and troubled. Turn is a simple present. Trouble is a simple present. Has is a simple. Understood? But here turned into a past. So it is germs which had turned their wine sour, troubled some French winemakers. Becomes like this. Some French makers, let's check here, clause becomes a subject. Some winemakers were troubled by a germ that turned their wine sour. Clear? Fifth one. Dr. Janet in England had already discovered vaccination for a smallpox. Yeah. A vaccination for a smallpox had already been discovered by Dr. Janet. See here, a sentence again from here starts last into a first. See how that I was telling in the beginning, turn the right round and give us a proper understanding by whom it has done. Action is done by whom? That is what we have to understand. The sixth one, Pasteur found out first of all that a cow could not have anthrax twice. The sentence becomes that a cow could not have anthrax twice was first of all found out by Pasteur. You see, we started the sentence here. See, it's very clear. After that, understand that is the right round getting into a sentence becomes clear. Let us now 7 and 8 I will explain to you. 7th sentence. When the news spread that Pasteur had discovered a cure for anthrax, hundreds of people wrote to him for a supply of vaccine. Okay. Here, thus changing into a passive becomes when the news spread that a cure for anthrax had been discovered by Pasteur, hundreds of people wrote to him for a supply of vaccine. See, in this you have to very carefully have to understand why this clause is not changed into other things. It remains as it is. But what is the only change here? By. You want to see, check it. When the news spread that Pasteur had discovered, when the news spread that a cure for anthrax, here this had discovered, removed, here this we have removed it and continued the sentence. When the news spread that Pasteur, also removed here, see, understood? When the news spread that a cure for anthrax had been discovered, this is right from now, had been discovered by Pasteur, then the sentence again starts. Hundreds of people wrote to him for supplies of vaccine. 8. Pasteur inoculated the young boy with some weak rabies germs. Here, the young boy was inoculated by Pasteur. The young boy was inoculated by Pasteur some weak rabies germs. See how that thing here? Here, the young boy was inoculated by Pasteur some weak rabies germs. This is how the active became passive. Now next we have in the exercise in the book of ours, we have a few things to be done and I will explain to you. If you have a book, you can do it and I will just read to you in this. You know there are parts of the body. We have elbow, it is called elbow. We have a hand, we have a knee, there is a parts of the knee, okay, and we have a toe, the first finger, fat finger also of the leg is also called toe, and we have a teeth, we have an ankle, this is called an ankle, okay, we have a shoulder, we have a face, we have a mouth, we have a thumb, we have a, and I explain to you everything. Using all this, you have to make a sentences. One I will do for you, and other things you do as an exercise of yours. There is the elbow. He elbowed his way to the crowd. He elbowed his way through the crowd. Hand. She handed. The letter to me. Like this, you have to make the sentences. Okay. If it's not, when you come to the class, I will check your things. If it is a confusion, I will explain to you in the class. The next one we have, this is of the part C on your book. Then there is a part D also. We have that the sentence is wrong words underlined. Correct the sentence using the appropriate word. Okay. The first thing I will do you, D1. She had ears packed. Underline word is packed. When and she was just 1 year old. Now, which is the wrong word here? What is this? She had ears packed when she was just 1 year old. It is what we do in the 1 year old. That is actually, what is that? She had ears pricked. She had ears pierced. P-I-E-R-C-E-D, pierced, when she was just 1 year old. This will be your answer. Second one I'll make for you and just hear it. The victims were thrown to death in the fire. Underline word is thrown, and what you have to change that. The victims were burnt to death in fire. Thrown into a burnt. Third one. In summer, I need to have my hair chopped short. Right answer. In summer, I need to have my hair cut short. Chopping is cutting like this. Okay. Taking a knife and cutting it. You cannot take a knife and cut your hair, no? So you have to take a scissor and cut, so that it is not chopping, it is cut. Fourth one. It is the bus driver who committed the accident. Your answer is, it is the bus driver who caused a accident. See, committing means by hanging himself. He cannot by hang. So that is the cause. He was the reason for it. Fifth one. Rice production needs to be enhanced. Now, wrong word is enhanced. The rice production needs to be increased. Sixth one. Teacher, I shall not engage my classroom. So that is six. Teacher, I shall not take my class tomorrow. Teacher says, I shall not take my class tomorrow. Seventh one. Fish are reared on a commercial scale. Wrong word is reared. Your answer is, fish are bred on a commercial scale. Eighth one, he speaks chaste Kannada. Your right answer is, chaste is the wrong word. The right answer is, he speaks good Kannada. Ninth one, she is a far relation of mine. Far is the wrong word. She is a distant relation for mine. Tenth one, parking facilities have been scrapped on Ashoka Pillar Road. Underlined word or wrong word is scrapped. Parking facility have been cancelled on Ashoka Pillar Road. And the next one comes here as the using given words in brackets. Rewrite the following as directed. The first one. He was too old, too old to learn new things. Given is here, use so and that. You have to use. He was so old that he could not learn new things. Second sentence. He is not tall enough to touch the ceiling. He was given in the bracket. Use to TOO and TO. Two. Let's see how to use. The ceiling is too tall for him to touch. Third one. If they were not brave, they would have lost the battle. They are given us to use but and for. But for their bravery, they could have lost the battle. The next one is given us. Had she been wise, I should not have opposed her. They asked us to use if. If she had been wise, I would not have opposed her. Now, the next one. You are a great fool. They asked us to change into an exclamation. What a great fool. And after the sentence, you have to put the exclamatory mark there. What a great fool. An exclamatory mark after fool. The next one. Bring it here. It told us change into a polite request. Could you please bring it here? After completion of the question, it becomes the question mark. Could you request? It is a polite request. Please bring it here. The next one, 7. It is raining. Change into a probability. Is a possibles. It might rain now. That is that you have to understand. So immediately I told you probability. You know the word means. Then it is easy to make a sentence. That probability means is possibility. See the second sentence how I made it. It might rain now. Maybe possible might. No. The next one. I want to be a millionaire. What they asked us, express it as a wish, being your answer with I wish. I wish I were millionaire. Because were, the sentence is that I want to be a millionaire. This is the future. No, this is a dream of ours, future, not today. Millionaire. So it is I would were. I wish I were a millionaire. The next one. As soon as she reached the station, the train left. Use no sooner. No sooner did we reach the station, then the train left. No sooner did we reach the station, then the train left. 10th one. As soon as they reached the playground, it began to rain. use hardly. Hardly had they reached the playground when it began to rain. Not properly, use properly. Hardly had they reached the playground when it began to rain. 11th one. She ran away so that she should not be married. Use lest, L-E-S-T. She ran away lest she should be married. Next one. If you don't walk fast, you will miss the train. Use otherwise. Walk fast, otherwise you will miss the train. 13th one. Besides being intelligent, she is hardworking. Use not only but. She is not only intelligent but also hardworking. 14th one. In spite of his riches, he is unhappy. Use nevertheless. He is rich, nevertheless he is unhappy. 15th one. To avoid punishment, you must apologize. Apologize means ask for forgiveness, ask pardon, or accept your mistake, apologizing. They are asked us to use or. Apologize or get punished. 16th one. Did you see any other person at the party? Question mark. They asked us use else. Did you see anyone else at the party? Question mark again. 17th one. He earned a lot, but he became greedier. What is that word? Greedier. Ati aase. You want more and more. That is called greedier. So they are asked us to use here is the more. More, the more. The more he earned, the more greedier he became. Right? The more he earned, the more greedier he became. 18th one. He told them to come early. They asked us to use suggested. He suggested that they should come early. I forbid you, 19th one. I forbid you the use of my laptop. Forbid means not allowing to touch. Okay, not giving you. They asked us to use the word must not. You must not use my laptop. 20th. Let's try to do it the other way. They asked us to use how about. How about doing it the other way? Question mark. 21. It would be advisable to start early. They asked us to use had better. We had better start early. We had better start early. 22nd. Shall I go home early this afternoon? Question mark. They asked us to use would you mind. Would you mind my going home early this afternoon? See, question mark is not changed again. The sentence question mark remained. Would you mind my going home early this afternoon? The next one, 23rd sentence. I am sorry to inform you that your son has failed. Use I am afraid. I am afraid your son has failed. Otherwise, you can change like this also. I am afraid to inform you your son has failed. This also is the right sentence. Next, 24th. I am sorry, I do not know how to do it. They asked us to use Begin with I wish. I wish I knew how to do it. See, is the first was a negative sentence. When we change into a positive sentence, I wish I know how to do it. First one, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do it. See, this problem was. Understand? The second, next one, 25th. I prefer to stay at home. Would rather, they asked us to use. I would rather stay at home. 26th question. We hid behind some bushes so that the enemy should not see me. They asked us to use. For fear. We hid behind some bushes for fear of being seen by the enemy. 27th question. 27th sentence. The dog is the best friend of man. Change using good. A dog is a good friend of man. 28. Darjeeling is more beautiful than many other hill stations in India. Change using as and as. Very few hill stations in India are as beautiful as Darjeeling. 29. Some students do not bring the text unless the teacher complains them to. Asked us to use using if. The students were using if. Some students bring the text only if the teacher compels them to do. Sentences. Some students bring the text only if the teacher compels them to. 30th. The students were too tired to sit in the class. Asked us to use so that. The students were so tired that they could not sit in the class. 31. Life is so beautiful that I cannot think of ugly things. Asked us to use to, T-O-O and T-O. To. Life is too beautiful to think of ugly things. 32. These mangoes are so cheap that they cannot be good. Using again T-O-O-2 and T-O-2. These mangoes are too cheap to be good. Here you notice that we are changed into a negative sentence into a positive sentence. 33. Bring the chair here. Change into a polite request again. Could you please bring the chair here? Question mark. I want to go out for a few minutes. Change it into a polite request for a permission. May I go out for a few minutes? Question mark. May I go out for a few minutes? Question mark. 35. As soon as he saw the warden, he ran away. Change using no sooner. No sooner did he see the wardener, then he ran away. The next one, 36. As soon as he stood up to speak, the people started shouting, using hardly. Hardly had he stood up to speak, then the people started shouting. 37. Write it down so that you may not forget all about it. Change using lest. Write it down lest you forget all about it. 38. It is possible that he will be troublesome. Change using possibility. There is a possibility of his being troublesome. 39. She replied very courageously. Changing courageous. She was courageous in her reply. Here courageously is adjective. Okay. And that is what you have to understand. Courage is a word. Courageously adjective. I know that, 40th sentence. I know that I am indebted to him. Changing into indebtedness. My indebtedness to him is known to me. This is how end of the lesson, and I have completed all your grammar of this book. Thank you very much. See you soon in the next lesson.